Welcome to a new What I Eat in a Day. This morning I just had my regular oatmeal, which maybe isn't so exciting if you have watched my videos before. But if you're new here, I like to make it with 1/3 water and 2/3 pea milk. And the pea milk adds some plant-based protein. You could also use soy milk. I also like to add 1 or 2 pinches of salt because it really makes a difference. This time I also added ground cardamom and cloves, but this was the last time in a while because I've gotten a bit tired of that flavor, so nowadays I mainly just add salt. And then I just let it simmer on the stove until it gets creamy. And while that was on the stove, I prepared my vitamin D and K and vitamin B12. I didn't film when I did it, but I emptied the capsules because I can't swallow pills, at least not all of them. And then I added the oatmeal on top and stirred it around. And by the way, if you do that thing with the vitamins, make sure they don't taste anything, and also that you actually can do it, because some brands may require you to swallow the entire capsule. My pronunciation of that word is not good, I know. It's difficult for me to say as a non-English native speaker. For toppings, I added hemp seeds, frozen blueberries, and cinnamon. I always do this because it's easy, but I kind of want to upgrade my oatmeal and add even more stuff, or maybe switch something. So please comment what you like to top your oatmeal with to give me some inspiration. Then I like to have a banana on the side. For lunch, I first cooked quinoa, and I've gotten questions before on how I cook it, so you want to rinse it first to get rid of the saponins that can taste quite bitter. Then I place it in the pot and I just add double the amount of water, so it's a 1-to-2 ratio of quinoa and water. Then I add herb salt. I can link the herb salt I use below because I think it's a good substitution for veggie stock. But then I let it simmer covered for about 10 to 15 minutes, basically until the water has disappeared. So meanwhile, I reheated a bean stew that I made. I made a similar stew recently in a video that I can link below, but in this one, I also added corn and bell pepper. I don't remember if I had bell pepper in the other one as well, but I definitely did not have corn. Of course, I had to serve it with avocado. The healthy fats in the avocado actually helps the body to absorb the lycopene in the tomatoes and the beta carotene in the carrots and bell pepper more efficiently. In the afternoon, I decided to make a chocolate protein smoothie. So to my blender, I added 1 banana, hemp protein powder. I also added raw cacao powder, maybe a bit too much because it actually turned out a little bit too bitter, but it was still fine. But yeah, then I added cinnamon and a pinch of sea salt, and last but not least, pea milk. I topped it with cacao nibs to have some crunch because I don't like to drink smoothies, I prefer to eat them. I've heard a lot about roasted lentils and that lots of people like it, so for dinner I wanted to try it. I didn't follow a recipe, I just improvised, and besides lentils, I added sliced carrots and frozen kale because it seemed like it would go well together with the carrots and the lentils. And then I drizzled on avocado oil. I honestly didn't really know which spices to use, so I kept them to a minimum. I added salt and paprika, and that was pretty much it. Then I just mixed it around to combine everything, and I spread it out evenly on the baking tray. I roasted it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, I think between 30 and 40 minutes. So while that was in the oven, I made a tahini dressing by first adding lemon juice to a small bowl. Next, I added tahini because you can't make a tahini dressing without tahini. And then I added sea salt. You can obviously add more spices if you want to, but yeah, I wanted to keep it simple because, as I said, I didn't know what the roasted lentils would taste like. Then just whisk it until it gets thick and gradually add some splashes of water and whisk again until it gets more like a sauce. I served everything on a bed of millet at the bottom. I think quinoa would have been better for this dish though, now that I've tasted it. This is what the lentils looked like once out of the oven. Now that I've tasted it, I will say it was pretty good, but as I said, I would have preferred eating it with quinoa. I also think adding garlic or garlic powder to the lentils and veggies before roasting would have been even better. However, I will still favor roasted chickpeas any day. But yeah, that was all I ate this day. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out.